That's 972-0619.
We all love better. That's why Vive gives you better internet, better speeds, better service. But what's better than better? Right now, get our high-speed 200 megabits per second internet for only $25 a month for the first 12 months with AutoPay. Plus, get free installation when you order online. Sign up today at vivebroadband.com and start connecting more than ever before. Sign up at vivebroadband.com and discover why more means better. For ends October 31st, 2024. Not available in all areas. Modem, certain installations, taxes, and fees extra. Subject to data plan. Visit vivebroadband.com for all restrictions.
Tony Melly back with you here at Seneca High School. We're at halftime. It's 22-14, Richland Northeast on top. Thank you for joining us on the Tri-County Technical College Halftime Show. I am happy to be joined now by Coach Tim Elrod. He is the head wrestling coach at Seneca in his first year in that role, and he's also one of the assistants in baseball. Hey, Coach, before we talk about all the other stuff we want to discuss, let's talk about this first half. It really was, from the Richland Northeast standpoint, exactly what we thought. It was about Will Wilson.
It was. That young man is an athlete. From my understanding, he's going to North Carolina State.
He is.
So that's something the Bobcats are going to have to, try to contain him and keep him from getting loose and doing a little more damage that he's done tonight.
Now, the good news is, offensively, we have responded. We've scored 2 out of our 3 drives and moved the ball deep into their territory and had an unfortunate turnover in the other drive. But we do get the ball first to start the second half.
And that could be big for us if we can come out and with the momentum that we had the second quarter there, if we could come out and score, it could really change the ball game.
Now, you saw Avery Butler in the Wildcat. I don't know if he's on the wrestling team or not, but he does everything else. I'm sure you'd take him.
We sure would. We would love to have him out there. Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the Seneca wrestling team. You've been an assistant for 4 years, and this is your first year as the head coach. So tell us, first of all, how is the wrestling program and doing it, and how is the health of the wrestling program, and what are you excited about for this year?
Well, this year, in last few years, we've been down in our weight classes, but we've had guys come out. We've had some new guys come, and we're pretty close to filling 14 spots, 14 weight classes. Last few years, we've had to forfeit several weight classes because we didn't have the wrestlers there. Health-wise, we're staying healthy. Of course, we utilize Sean Landis when we have somebody tweaks a shoulder or a knee. We send them down and he checks them out and he gets us back going. But the guys have a great attitude and have been working hard since November the 4th. They're ready to go. We've got some good leadership on that team with some upperclassmen, and so they're really pushing those younger guys to get better.
Well, Sean's awesome, isn't he? He may be the least talked about person in our athletic department. He does a lot of work all over the county, but man, he helps our athletes so much.
He does. He does a great job. He cares for these athletes, and he wants to make sure that it's safe for them to play and return. And he's going to be honest with them, and he's going to tell them, go home, ice it, let it rest for the weekend, and get back out there and do what you're supposed to do for your sport. But if they are injured, he does not hesitate to help us get into Blue Ridge Orthopedics or wherever we need to go to have those athletes looked at.
Now, for folks that do not understand wrestling and how it works, and they may want to come out and watch, tell us a little bit about what we can expect.
Well, we're excited. We open up Tuesday night. We were supposed to have Raven Gap here, but we had to cancel that one. So we picked up a quad match with Easley, Daniel, and Walhalla on Tuesday night. So we're going to travel to Easley and open up our as a scrimmage. Our season, we got into it late, so the scheduling we didn't have until late, but we have a pretty tough December. We start the regular season at Greenwood. Then we travel to Liberty. We travel to West Oak. We have West Oak and West Side, so 2 state champion teams there. Then we roll into Palmetto, and that's a good, another good school. We've got a busy, Crescent, T.L. Hanna. Our guys are thrown to the fire really quick, but these guys are excited to get started. And with us jumping to 4A, we were they sent out an email a couple weeks ago, and Seneca was actually a preseason top 25.
Awesome.
So that's something big for us. And with our region, we've got TR that's 6 in the state. Greer was at number 20, and Pickens at 21. So we're going to have a good time. We're going to have some competitors out there. I think TR, they're returning some state champions and qualifiers. So we're going to have our work cut out for us. But we're looking, our goal is to win the region. Make it to the playoffs. It would be big for us to make it our first year in 4A. We got to follow volleyball, got to follow football. So it's something big for us, but I'm excited. I've got 2 assistant coaches that are helping me out that have some wrestling experience. I'm more of a baseball guy, but wrestling, since I've been around it for the last few years, I've learned a lot, and I think I've given these guys some consistency as being a face around the school that they can count on and come to.
And that's important. Well, how does a wrestling match work in high school?
Well, we run 3 periods. They're 2 minutes apiece, and basically those guys are they're trying to outscore their opponent, and they've changed some rules this year. Our takedowns used to be 2 points. They've moved to 3 points when they take their opponent down. So that's going to change the matches a lot this year. So it's going to, and they've changed some rules as far as being in bounds and things like that. So we're all going to be getting used to some new things. But it's basically you're in there and you're trying to score as many points as you can to get ahead of your opponent. The key is to try to pin them and get that 6 points for your team. And if you can hang on and you don't get pinned, depending on your points, how many points you score determines how many team points that you get.
And so is the pinning action kind of like what we see on television with the not real wrestling? Is it the count of 3, or how does that work?
It's somewhat. The guys can work and they can get back points and work up to a pin. And usually it doesn't take long. The ref just watches for those shoulder blades to touch, and as soon as they see that, they'll call that match. And it can be quick sometimes, and then sometimes we have some that go into overtime. And when we get into overtime, usually it's the first person to score a point.
Do you have several people wrestling at one time, or is it one at a time?
It's just one weight class at a time. Now we will run multiple mats sometimes, so we try to get our JV and middle school guys some action when we're at home on the mat, or they'll travel with us. So a lot of times you can have multiple matches going on, but one main weight class wrestling at one time.
Well, let's switch gears. You mentioned baseball. You've been involved in baseball. You and I coached together.
Yes, sir.
And tell us, we feel real good about the Seneca baseball program, of course. From your perspective, what can we think about this year?
These guys, they've been working hard all year. Of course, we have the great thing of having a baseball class here at Seneca High School, so these guys are able to work throughout the year before the season. We've got a couple athletes. Of course, we have William Cutshaw, who signed to play at Ole Miss. We have Joey McGovern. That name may sound familiar because his older brother was a standout pitcher here and playing at Clemson now. But Joey is a strong outfielder for us, a good leader for us. Of course, we got Raphael Little that plays. Of course, he's out here on the football field, and he does some great things for us. We've got a bunch of seniors this year. Luke McGuffin is going to help us on the mound. We got a good pitching core. Our defense, we feel pretty confident, especially with us moving up to 4A. We're going to compete. There's going to be a lot of Bobcats, I think, in the playoffs, and we're hoping that we can go a long way and get back to those 2017, 2018 state championship runs that we were in a few years ago.
So it's good for us that wrestling is in the fall and baseball's in the spring, so we can have you doing both.
Yes, and that's my wife. I think she's listening right now, but she kind of becomes a widow from November to April. But she supports me, and I appreciate her, and she's very excited for the opportunity that I have here at Seneca, and I appreciate all the support that she gives me.
All right, I've got some homework for you.
Okay.
So I'm sure you've heard the sports update that I do throughout the week. I tape it every night during the week, and it runs 3 times the next day. And as I've been doing that for about a year, my goal is we're going to highlight all of Seneca sports, but my goal is to particularly highlight the sports that we don't broadcast. We broadcast football and basketball, but I want folks to know about soccer. I want folks to know about volleyball, softball, baseball, and now wrestling as well. So you said your first match was next week?
Yes, sir.
After that match, before you get home, you have my phone number still, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
You're going to text me or have someone text me and let me know so I can get it on the air, right?
Yes, sir. We can definitely do that.
He looks like he's ready to do his homework, Coach Davis. Coach Elrod, I have appreciated you for a long time and so grateful that you were able to come up here with us tonight. You mean a lot to Seneca High School, and thank your wife for us also.
Yes, I definitely will. I appreciate you having me here, Jim.
Brother, it's good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Best of luck and go Cats.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Go Cats.
Hey, we're about 3 minutes away from the start of the second half. You've been listening to the Tri-County Technical College Halftime Show. Coach Tim Elrod, our guest here at halftime. When we come back, Coach and I will go over a couple of statistics and get ready for the second half of play. You're listening to Bobcat Football.